And a shake. Good. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Work through your vinyasa or press it back to downward dog. Good. Take a couple of deep breaths in here and just give the feet a little walk. We're going to come through into our pigeon pose. So you're going to bring your right shin forward and let the shin just come to the floor. Now, if you have sensitivity in the knee joint and you want to go into your seated pigeon, you can come here instead. With your pigeon pose, let your shin point back to start off with. Rather than pulling your foot forward, we're going to try to move our body back. So just take a moment to align your hips. And we want our outer left hip wrapping down, thigh lifting up, so there's a little bit of an internal rotation in that left leg. Notice how you want to move the weight forward into your shins. Tuck your left toes under and start to wriggle yourself back. Just go as far as you can. And then keep pressing back through that left leg. Push your right shin down to the floor. If you're quite open through the hip, imagine that you're pushing the right foot across to the right. You can stay upright, or you can start to come down onto your forearms. You can let your forehead rest onto your hands, or extend the arms forward. Just taking a little bit of a stretch out of the hips that have been working strongly for you. Once you're there for a couple of breaths, maybe you might be able to tuck your left toes under and wiggle yourself back just a little bit more. Let the hips move back and down rather than forward with your chest and the shin. For another 4. 3. 2. 1. Lifting up onto your forearms. Keep your left forearm to the floor. Right hand comes to the knee and a gentle rotation towards that right side. Being gentle here. 4. 3. 2. 1. Slowly release. Tuck your left toes under. Press down through your hands. Lift your left knee away from the floor and just try to pick your right foot up. And then let it move back. Press it back to a downward dog. And just give the hips a little wriggle and a rock. And as you're ready to changing sides, bring the left leg forward. Let your shin point back first. So point the toes back, square off your hips. So the outer right hip now is rotating down to the floor, the inner thigh is lifting up, and then starting to move yourself backwards into the pose rather than pulling the foot forward. Good. Keep working on drawing the outer right hip down. You can then come down onto your forearms and extend the arms forward. Forehead can rest onto your hands. Take your weight back into your hips. So notice you might want to lean forward into your shin, and can you instead take the weight back into your hips. Good. Once you've been there for a couple of breaths, you might find you can tuck your right toes under and wriggle yourself back just a little bit more. Three, 2, 1. Lift up slightly. Come onto your forearms. Gently here. Right forearm stays down, left hand to the knee, and spiral the chest. 5, 3, 2, 1. Gently bring the hands to the floor. Try to think of just picking your leg, your whole leg up. So rather than letting it swing back, just try to find a little bit of strength. So with the right toes tucked under, lift the right knee and just pick your left foot up. Good, then reach it back to plank and back to downward dog. Take a little walk through the feet, a little sway in the hips. Good. And then slowly jump or step your feet to the front of your mats. Good. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Nice deep squat. Lift the chest up. You're going to reach the arms forward. Sensitivity in the knees or the lower back. Sit down as best you can. Otherwise, we're going to slowly start to sink the hips down. Imagine you've got something in front of you that you can hold on to. As we continue to sink the hips down, try to keep the heels to the floor. Keep going down, down. As far as you can, you might find the heels lift a little bit. Keep sinking the hips down. Hold it. And then slowly let the buttocks come down. And stretch the legs out. Good. Find a diamond shape with your legs. Feet together. Knees open out to the side. So rather than the feet coming in really close, creating more of a diamond shape. Take your hands to your shins. You may stay just in this upright position, especially if you have any sensitivity in the lower back. Otherwise, lift the chest. Think not of bringing the head towards the feet, but reaching your belly towards your feet. So you inhale, lengthen, belly comes forward, then the chest comes forward, and then the head. We'll do 2 waves. So inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, belly, chest, head. Once more, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, belly, chest, head, and hold. Again, think of reaching your chest towards your feet, and then the head comes down. Notice if you're rounding and trying to pull yourself down, and instead pull yourself forward, which will then allow you to move down. 3. 2. 1. Slowly lifting up. Good. Bring the legs up. You can keep your left leg extended or bend your left foot back to the outside of your right foot. Then you're going to bring your right foot in front of your shin. Sit up nice and tall. Good. So if you've got your left leg extended, bring your right foot to the outside of the left thigh. If you're a bit tight in the hips or sensitive in the knees, this will be a better twist for you. Otherwise, you can bring the leg across. You can keep the foot in front of your shin or bring the foot to the outside of your left thigh. But if you do that and the hip lifts up, round your hip down, and if you can't ground it down, bring it back in front of your shin. More important to keep your pelvis stable. Okay. And then sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, start to rotate towards your right thigh. You can hug your right leg with your left arm. Right hand comes behind you. You can work on bringing the left elbow to the outside of your right knee. You can even work on reaching your left arm back to grab your right knee or right ankle if you're taking that variation. 4, gaze over the right shoulder, lift up through the spine. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back to center. So bending the other legs now. So either keeping your right leg straight or bending your right foot to the outside of your left hip. Your left foot can come in front of your shin. If you can, you bring the foot to the outside of the right thigh, but if you can't ground your hip, bring it back in front of the shin. More important to have both hips grounded, your pelvis steady. Then inhale, lift. Exhale as you rotate. You give yourself a hug with that right arm. You can take the left hand behind you. You keep hugging the left thigh, or bring your elbow to the outside of the knee. Open the chest. You can reach your right hand back and grab hold of your left ankle or left or right knee. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently releasing, looking forward, and release. Okay.